Hello friends, I'm Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? I hope you're doing good. To wrap up this week of tech and video related content, I want to talk about audio. On yesterday's episode, I told you that the lighting isn't really a factor. It's not that big of a deal. People make a big deal out of it. It's really not. Most people who will watch a commentary video or even a review channel or anything like that, they don't really care about the lighting. So the main thing you should worry about is audio. Now, audio is extremely important because in a format where you're going to talk, where you're going to review, where you're going to show product or whatever it might be, what you're saying is the reason why people came, not to see the pictures. It could almost be a podcast, unless you are doing just straight up unboxings or whatever. So the audio is the most important piece of the information, and it needs to be crisp and clean. If it's distorted, if it's the volume's low or it's crackling, it's distracting. People will just click away and not watch your video. So let's talk about audio, because it's not that difficult either. The lighting setup's easy, the editing's easy, the camera settings are easy. This isn't difficult. It just takes a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of patience. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this microphone and let you hear the camera just by itself. Be prepared. Okay, this audio is straight out of my camera. This is a Canon EOS M3, which is a mirrorless camera that if you saw it, you would think it was a DSLR. It looks like a DSLR. It essentially is a DSLR. Okay? As far as how it records video and audio, extremely similar. Two small microphones picking up this sound, and I haven't listened to the sound yet, but it's probably garbage. It's probably horrible. And that is because this is a photography camera. This is not made to be a video camera. I'm using it as a video camera because it gives me amazing picture quality and control, but the microphones aren't, they're just like almost an add-on. It's almost just like, hey, and by the way, we threw a couple microphones in, right? So this is what the camera sounds like by itself. Now let's plug this guy back in and take another listen. Okay, now we're back to this mic, and I bet you it sounds way better. The reason being, the tiny little cell microphones that are in that camera aren't really designed for conversational audio. They're just dynamic microphones that's going to pick up sound from everything, and they're really bad at capturing low-end noise, whereas this microphone is an actual studio mic that's designed for human voice. It's great at all ranges, but it really picks up those bass tones, the warmth of my voice, the warmth of your voice, if you're going to do this, and it doesn't necessarily clip out the high-end noise, but just bringing in the low-end really, really helps the overall quality of the sound. That being said, the room that you're in also has a huge impact. This room is basically drywall boxes with lots of flat surfaces like the table and the ceiling and those tools, lots of metal, concrete floor. There's not a lot of stuff in here to absorb sound, so it's a very tinny sounding room. And I do a very small amount of post-processing to my audio. I'll turn that off now, and you can hear what that sounds like without any post-processing at all. This is straight out of the microphone into the camera. You can hear it's a little bit grainy, there's a bit of fuzz going on, and maybe some of the high end is a little weird, especially if I were to scream or something, it would get a little crazy. I'm not going to do that. But I'll turn the filters back on, and now we're nice and clean, so that I can talk to you in my really bad radio voice. I have done a little bit of sound treatment in here. I have a blanket hanging here. I have some foam in the corners, which is just a camping pad from Walmart. And that's just to help reduce a little bit of the vibration in this corner that's pointed at my microphone. This being a condenser microphone is not as omnidirectional as those. It's going to pick up my voice as it enters the microphone here. It's going to block out some of the noise that's coming from everywhere else. It's not super great at that. This is a very inexpensive microphone. And to that, price is not always king. This audio setup that I have going is about $60. That includes the mic, the stand, the cabling, the power supply, all that stuff. It's very inexpensive and it works great. This is a BM800 microphone. If you search for that, you will find dozens of brand names. It's just a cheap, generic, Chinese manufactured XLR microphone, but it's got a really good microphone cell in it, and lots of people give this thing praises. It comes with the shock mount cage. This essentially keeps it so that if I bump this, you're not hearing a loud spike. You might hear a muffled bump. But if this was wiggled on a, without this support, it would make a lot of noise, scratchy noise. This mic goes into an XLR power supply. This just simply is a little black box. I don't have a whole lot of cord here, that takes the XLR in, supplies power to the microphone, and then out to the camera. This I had to buy extra, as well as the XLR to 1/4-inch stereo jack, which is like your headphone jack. Again, all together with the stand and everything, it was about $60, and it sounds amazing, and I'm insanely happy. I have absolutely no reason to ever upgrade this mic because it works so perfectly, and it looks kind of cool. People like the look of it. So you don't have to go crazy. For a long time, I did just the cell phone audio, and the cell phone audio works great because the microphone on this phone is designed for human voice, so it's going to pick up better tones than that. The problem is with these types of microphones, they get a whole lot of background noise. So if you're in a windy environment or you have a whole lot of stuff going on around you, you're going to get swamped with that. So I did buy a lapel mic, which works with cell phones. I don't have it anymore. I've given it to a friend, and I used that for a while just by plugging in. Also, I used to shoot on a little Canon handheld camera that had no audio in. If you go way back to the very beginning of this show, all that audio was straight out of the camera, and it actually wasn't that bad. So the camera that you buy might affect your audio. Lastly, I also have a little shotgun mic. This is a Rode Video Micro mic. This is a dead cat. And this is the little shotgun microphone. A shotgun microphone is designed to block out noise from the sides and focus on noises coming to the front. And this just clips onto the top of my camera, and there you go. I can get clean audio. This is what I use when I'm doing handheld shots, or if I'm out in public or wherever I might be. When I go on one of my trips that you've seen, this is the microphone that you're listening to, and it sounds very clean, and I don't necessarily have to do post-processing. I don't know what part of my audio setup is introducing the fuzz into the audio for this guy. It could be the mic, it could be the power supply, one of the cables, the camera. It's a very inexpensive setup, but it's very simple to just click the post-processing. So that's it. That's my sound setup, and it works beautifully, and I don't have to mess with it. And for me, doing a show every single day like this, the number one goal is simplicity. Everything else beyond that is fluff. So if I can keep it simple so that all I have to do is turn on the mic, record, and then just do that one little thing in post-processing, which is just noise reduction. It's an automatic built-in in Premiere. I don't have to do anything special. Just drag it over, done, walk away, video's ready to go. Audio is important. Remember that. That's important. If you're going to do any kind of channel, think about your audio first, way before you think about getting a camera. You can use your cell phone and plug a mic into it, and it'll look fabulous, and it'll sound way better. So go that route first before you go the route of buying some setup. There you go. Audio before camera. That being said, I switched to the lapel mic when I was using my old camera, and it did not have audio in, so you might want to pay attention to that. What I had to do then was I recorded the audio on my phone with my microphone, and then synced the two together, audio and video, with a clap track or whatever, and muted the camera audio and used the audio from my phone. So if you're looking at a camera, try to find one that has camera in or audio in if you want to use a setup like this. There you go. So thank you all for being here. As always, I really do appreciate it. I hope this week has been entertainingly informative. If nothing else, I hope you learned something. I'd like to get back to doing random whatever next week, so we'll do that. Tomorrow is Friend Friday. I'm definitely going to be talking about you guys, so if you have anything you want to share with me, please send it in, and we'll look at it tomorrow. Yeah, thank you, as always, for being here. I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from LoneStar.net. Why is Santa Claus called Santa Claus? The American version of Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus originally came from the Dutch version called Sint Nicolaas or Sinterklaas. The Dutch settlers in New Amsterdam, New York, brought a fun and lively tradition to America. 8 flying reindeer later joined by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So, Sinterklaas. Look that one up. He didn't used to have reindeer.